Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. This is breaking news coming all the way from Inec themselves in respect to, the recall of Senator Natasha Akpoti. Akpoti is excelling right now, whether we like it or yes. And it's a press release from Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, and the content of it is outcome of the review of signatures to thumbprint of the petitioners for the recall of the senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District. And according to the press release, they say the commission held its regular weekly meeting today, Thursday, 10th April 2025. Among other issues, the meeting considered and approved the report of its fiscal count of the signatures to thumbprint forwarded with the petition for the recall of senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, in line with Clause 2B of the Regulation and Guidelines for Recall 2024. The Commission has assured Nigerians that it would handle the matter with fairness to the parties involved and in line with the provision of the law and our regulation and guidelines. First, we ensured that the petitioners complied with the requirement for the submission of the petition. Secondly, we notified the members sought to be recalled in writing, copied the presiding officer of the Senate, and simultaneously published the notice on our website. Thirdly, we informed Nigerians that the next step would be to carefully ascertain the number of signatures to thumbprint to ensure that the petition complies with the requirement of the law. The exercise has now been completed. For emphasis, the petition for the recall of senator must comply with the provision of Section 69A of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, which requires the signatures of more than one half of the registered voters in the constituency. The total number of registered voters in Kogi Central Senatorial District is 474,554. More than one half of this figure, that's 50% plus 1, is 237,277 plus 1, which is at least 237,278 voters. Across the 902 polling units in 57 registration area and 5 local government area that makes up the Senatorial District, the Commission has certain 208,132 signatories to thumbprint from the submission made by the petitioner. This translates to 43.86% of the registered voters, which falls short of the constitutional requirement by 29,146 signatories. Consequently, the petition has not met the requirement of Section 69A of the Constitution. Therefore, no further action shall be taken on the recall of the senator. In line with the provision of Clause 2D of the Regulation and Guideline for Recall 2024, the Commission has issued a public notice to that effect, which is also copied to the presiding officer of the Senate. The public notice, along with a summary of the review of the signatories to thumbprint of the petitioners, which are disaggregated by local government areas, are available on our website and social media platform for public information. And this is coming from Sam Olumekun, MNI, National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voters Education Committee, Thursday, 3rd April 2025. Reactions have continued to flow in. Someone here, one Onesi Peter, says there should be a forensic investigation into the signatories to the petition. Some people should go to jail for Nigerians to be sanitized. This one here says Inec is giving room for the power-drunk politician to furnish further petitioners with signatures. Why create loopholes to be exploited by the petitioner? Inec should have stated that petitioners did not meet the constitutional requirement for the recall of Senator Natasha Akpoti, and consequently, the process has failed and no further steps shall be taken on the recall process. Reading Inec public notice gives me the impression that Inec is teaching the petitioner what they need to do. I think there's some truth in that. Another reactor, someone who is reacting to one Sunusi Yakubu said, "Thank you, Inec, for resisting pressure to undermine democracy in our country for selfish interests. As an independent organization, Nigerians expect you to conduct your affairs according to existing rule. We urge you not to let the presidency of Akpabio or Kogi state government compromise our democracy. I commend Senator Natasha for her determination and fight for her right." Another person here who reacted to it said, I like this statement. Therefore, no further action shall be taken on the recall of the senator. Kekere Youth, how market. This one here says, Abubakar Yusuf said, Inec this time has indeed shown its integrity in dealing and process. At least the institution has given Nigerians a glimpse of hope this time around. Kudos to Inec Nigeria. Another one here says, one Raymond Otogo says, shame to bad people. Inec. So Inec has the boldness to tell Nigeria that it is cancelling the recall process because 208,132 persons signed the recall instead of 278 voters, and not that the signatures were forged, as we saw the senator's constituent of over 200,000 plus persons standing on her mandate. INEC can do more than this. INEC needs to start an immediate prosecution for the offense of forgery and illegal recall of a senator to deter future occurrence and jail the perpetrators of this crime. This is getting really interesting, my colleagues in the House. What's your standpoint on all of this? Do you think that this is a victory for democracy?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a victory for democracy. There's still more hurdles for Nigerians as a whole. But just like one of the commenters said, he said that somebody has to pay for this. There has to be some level of punishment to deter, gathering some persons in one room. And, the whole video was on social media. Everybody saw the video. You just know that it's the handwork of some very corrupt politician who just wanted Natasha out. But one would have expected that there would have been some sort of verification to know how through these guys are. The kind of crowd that welcomed Natasha. Natasha, you just know that she's loved by many. Despite the fact that there was a curfew, a ban on rallies. The people defied it. That's to tell you that although they may not have the crowd or the people's will, probably because he was the prodigy of Yahya Bello, but Natasha came in on her mandate, and the people knows who Natasha as a person is. But like Natasha did tell INEC, he said INEC, the INEC chairman, just have a few months to stay. You can still redeem your image, so do the right thing. But if you watch, it's not like, to me or personally, this is just me talking. I don't think it's not as if INEC really redeemed their image. They only said that it fell short of some certain amount of persons, not that the signatures were forged. Not that the signatures were forged, and not that they saw that video where they gathered people and people are just standing one place and one person signing over how many thousands of signature at once. They did not even mention, the processes of how they will go so that such occurrences don't happen. They only said, okay, you just didn't meet the requirement of the number. So which means anybody can wake up and stand and do the same thing. There will be security protection for such illegality. And INEC will say, if they had signed a little much more, maybe they would have met the threshold. That's what INEC is saying. But it's good to note anyway. Let's still appreciate the fact that they even tried to say no to the recall. So let's celebrate them a little on that. Well done, INEC.
All right. That's what we would like.